It's your daily dose of Donna. Welcome to the show. Today is Tuesday, February 25th. I hope everyone is doing wonderful today. Oh, another day, another day. Let's just start there. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It is a gorgeous warm day here in Los Angeles. We are really experiencing summer in February. It's wild. It's 80 degrees here in Los Angeles, but it's a short-term warm front. Here in the Los Angeles region, I need my pointer. I need my meteorology board right behind me. I mean, wouldn't that be fun if all of a sudden I did have a green screen situation and I could just go like boop, 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 boop. And here on the western front of the California border, I really wish I could do that. But you know me, I don't have any sort of sense of geography, so I have no idea where anything is anyway. I just know California is on one side, New York is on the other, and then there's a bunch of states in between. Just kidding. I kind of know. I know. I'm just not the best at geography. Welcome to the show. So many of you guys here. We have so much to talk about today. And for those of you that can't stand one more word about Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, I am with you. I am with you. Can't stand them. Can't stand them anymore. Stephanie says, it's the first time I made it to a live. The comments are going so fast that I already lost your comment. But Stephanie, welcome. Welcome to the first live. You've made it. We have broken her virginity. Is that how you say it? Welcome to the show. We have so much to talk about today because we do have a little to talk about, but it's not about those two anymore. I said it yesterday on the show. If you are here and if you are listening, I know there's a lot of people that have not been listening because you're sick of those two. And I get it. I said yesterday very explicitly that I will not be covering every little detail of this case if it's not important. I am not interested in covering the minutia of this case. I don't care about if, Blake Lively said one word in an interview in 2014 anymore. Not interested. If there's updates in the case, I will absolutely be covering it. Don't you worry. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Jen, way to start it with look at your palm trees. I want to go where you are with that hammock. Let's go. Matches my clitoral wall. So I will only talk about the important stuff, but today we do have some important things that I think they have some control over at Meta, and it's affecting me. It's affecting me and it's affecting a lot of you guys. So let's get into that. Plus, we're going to talk about the Baldwins. This is a new show starring Alec Baldwin, famous actor. Remember the Rust trial? This is more recent. We have to talk about this. I watched it last night on TLC. Have you watched it? I cannot tell you. I was pleasantly surprised, and we'll get into that. Then we're going to talk about Karen Huger on her 4th DUI, plus more things that have popped up. But have popped up left and right. There's a lot going on. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. Welcome to the show, everyone. This is your daily dose of Donna. Okay, welcome to the show. I need to tell you guys something that I finally got with the program. Guess what? I started last night. About 3 years late, I started Severance. I think we're 2 seasons in. We're 2 seasons late because I think they're airing season 2 now, like halfway through season 2. But I started just now. I started season 1, episode 1. Please tell me in the comments, do you watch Severance? This is a very popular show. I know that because everyone talks about it. And also on the podcast charts, the Severance podcast is always really up and on top of the podcast charts, which makes me think that like a lot of people like to talk about it. So we watched the first episode last night. Please do not spoil anything. I will not spoil it for you. This is, of course, directed by Ben Stiller. Adam Scott stars in it, amongst other actors, Patricia Arquette. It was really good, Really interesting. Apple Plus, I want to say it's on Apple TV. It's fascinating. It's like a mind TV show, like one of those mind, um, I guess it's like just like how would you like a mental thriller type of show. It's really, really an interesting concept that is not what I would have ever expected, but I am into it. I want something like that. Mind bending. Thank you very much. That's a good mind fuck. Michelle says, mind, we got a mind bending, we got a mind fuck. I'm into it. So I will definitely be watching that. I also hear that uh that Paradise on Hulu is a show that cannot be missed. Everyone says that Paradise is like the best show on TV. And it was coming up so much on Threads and Twitter. Like people were saying, you cannot not watch Paradise, that I thought, are these paid? These must be paid tweets. Like, what's going on? Why are so many people talking about it? So then I went over to this morning. Lance, my husband, was at his workout and he sends me a text and he goes, everyone's talking about Paradise. I said, are they paid too? Because now I'm convinced that this is like a paid marketing thing. And he says, no, they're real people. They're telling me that Paradise is so good. So now I believe that maybe it really is good. So between Paradise, between Severance, Tanya comes up with a new thing, What to Watch with Donna Bowling. I'm not saying they're good. I'm just saying I'm hearing they're good. Severance, we have a reality TV section. And now this is your scripted content. Okay. Scripted content we've got to get into. Severance, we got to get into Paradise. And then also what I've been watching is we just finished the first couple seasons of Lioness. That's kind of like a serious show. It's very, very dark, you know? Thank you, Noah. She says, love your content so much. You are so likable. That is so nice. I wish everyone felt that way. Unfortunately, they don't. You know who doesn't? You know who doesn't? Oh, the White Lotus. I'm going to get into who doesn't feel very much that way. There's a lot of people that don't. But thank you. The White Lotus. Let's talk about the White Lotus really fast. Yes, Josh. So we should watch Severance. Yes? Yes. Michelle, Donna's prescription. You guys are real smart. Cindy says, Tell Me Lies on Hulu. That's a great show, but that's not on right now. But that's a phenomenal show. If you like those like college dramas, great show. Okay. The White Lotus. I am obsessed with White Lotus season 1 and 2. Loved. I have not yet watched season 3. I will. Don't you worry. However, season 3 has had 2 episodes so far. I cannot get a read on what you guys think because from what I've seen, everyone just keeps doing these vague reviews, which is like, White Lotus is weird. White Lotus season 3 is odd. White Lotus season 3 is strange this season. There's an incest storyline and Parker Posey is on it. Now, listen, I don't want to hold Parker Posey accountable for that really, really horrible Blake Lively interview, but you know how they say when someone shows you who they are, believe them? We did see her in that same interview with Blake Lively, with Sharsty. And she did kind of come off like a jerk in that interview. I hate to say it, but I have a weird feeling that Parker Posey may not be a very likable person either. And now I am a huge Christopher Guest fan. If you guys don't know who Christopher Guest is, he's the executive producer, the creator behind Best in Show, Waiting for Guffman. These are movies that are phenomenal, hilarious, somewhat improv mockumentary movies that I watched in the 90s. I think I watched them in high school, like for a high school class. They star Kevin, from Schitt's Creek. What's her name? Moira. What's her name? Someone help me. And they star so many incredible actors, including Parker Posey. So I loved Parker Posey, but seeing her in that interview with Sharsty and Blake Lively, it made me question her a little bit as a person. Catherine O'Hara. Best in Show and Waiting for Guffman. Now, those are good movies to watch. Okay. Anyway, let's get into some topics today. Oh, Tamara says this is actually a good topic, just a little Bravo crossover. Did you hear that the cast of White Lotus was told to watch the beginning of Southern Charm to mimic their Southern ways? This is actually a really interesting kind of crossover, and we can talk about it a little bit later. But yes, Mike White is a huge fan. Mike White is the creator of White Lotus. And he is a huge fan of Bravo. And so he says, apparently he modeled the cast of White Lotus off of Southern Charm and off like T-Rav, Thomas Ravenel, and a lot of those characters. Although a lot of other people are saying that when they watch this cast of Southern Charm, they almost feel, the White Lotus, they almost feel like they're seeing a little bit of Meredith Marks' family from Salt Lake City. It's got like a little bit of that vibe. So we will definitely keep watching and kind of see. Speaking of other reality crossovers with scripted big stars, last night Jon Hamm was on Watch What Happens Live. Did you guys see the clip of this? Bravo's Watch What Happens Live had Andy Cohen and of course he had Andy Cohen and Jon Hamm are actually really close. And I actually kind of like their little relationship. But Jon Hamm has been a self-proclaimed huge Bravo fan through the years. And he has said on his show, on Watch What Happens Live, he talked about who he would want. What is going on? I'm having some like major weird computer issues. You guys, there's something going on. There's something going on. I'm going to blame it on Blake. But I'll talk about that in just a second. Let's watch this. This is who the Real Housewives are that Jon Hamm wants to see back on his screen.
Make your case for a former housewife who deserves a grand return. Your time starts now.
It's not one.
Okay.
It's a series. It's a collection of housewives. The original New York housewives. Bring them back.
Oh, wow.
Bring them back. Put them together with the new ones. Let's see how that mixes. Let's see what happens. Old school, new school. I want to see a commingling.
You want to see a commingling?
Yes, I
All
do.
right.
Make it happen.
Jon Hamm.
So I have a funny story about Jon Hamm. When I worked on a show, it was a Nickelodeon pilot, and we worked in the downtown office building that Mad Men was shooting. And they actually shot in a real life office building at LA Center Studios. That's what it was called. In fact, when Watch What Happens Live came to Los Angeles and shot for a week, when I went to go to the live taping of Watch What Happens Live, they shot it in the same building at LA Center Studios. But the lobby of Mad Men and all like the conference rooms were in that building because it was like a very strong mid-century old building. So they didn't have to really redo it. And I walked by one of the table reads of Mad Men and I just was floored just seeing the cast of Mad Men during that time. That was one of the best shows. Speaking of scripted shows, I mean, slow, but like one of the best shows ever. Mad Men. Jon Hamm, my man. Like, whoo. Okay. So let's talk about why I believe Blake Lively, and this could be really a stretch, but I don't believe that all these things could be coincidences anymore after yesterday. I truly believe that there is something true to this story. Because yesterday when I shared my story and so many people came forward with their own stories about how they believe that they have been silenced, I think that there's some truth to this. So if you guys were watching me on Instagram yesterday, and I didn't talk about it on the show yesterday, and I should have, but I went over to Instagram and I exposed myself and I shared my story about how I am in Instagram comment jail. What does that mean? On Sunday night, I started to write a comment, just as I do, because I'm a very comment-friendly person, okay? What can I say? If I'm not talking verbally or vocally or orally, I'm a typer. I like to engage. And I started to comment something, and it says, this action is restricted until February 26th. Tell us if we've made a mistake, something like that. So I wrote a comment back I mean, I said like, yes, you've made a mistake, whatever. And then it gave me some things to do to check your account status. Everything was fine, whatever. And so I Googled it, what is this? Like, what happens if you're in Instagram comment jail? And they gave me some sort of, troubleshooting issues. Delete the app, re-download the app, sign out, sign in. I did all those things. Nothing was fixed. So I'm a verified account on Instagram, meaning I pay Meta a certain amount of money every single month so that I have that check mark and so that I can have the ability to, bypass issues like this. And I have the ability to connect straight with, the help section, I should say, like Meta verified help. And there is a way that you can connect directly to help. So yesterday, I directly connected to Kevin at Meta Verified, and I spoke to them and I said, here's the issue. I am not allowed to leave any comments. I can post on my stories and I can post reels or posts, but I cannot comment with anyone and I cannot write anything on threads. And they responded back saying, well, you have 0 issues on your account status. You have not violated any community guidelines. Like there's nothing wrong with your account. Unfortunately, it looks to us like your account was flagged as probably being spam or a bot. I said, excuse me, how? I'm a verified account. Like you literally had to look at my ID to give me the blue check and you have my credit card information. You charge me per month. And that's so that you can avoid this. Like you're telling me that when celebrities, like I don't know, give me a celebrity comments something and gets 10,000 likes on their comments, you flag them as a spam account? I mean, it's wild. But this is like some just random guy, Kevin. So I'm not talking to the head of Meta here and he's like giving me his, I'm sorry, I can understand that this is frustrating, but unfortunately, this is not a permanent freeze. This is just temporarily. And by the 26th, you will do. So I'm beyond frustrated. And I'm saying this is unreal. This is so unprofessional. This is a business. This is my business, whatever. I'm trying to fight back with Kevin, like as if Kevin can do anything. But then I started to think about it more and more, and I started to realize why in the world would this have happened? And he said, well, he did say that it looks like many of your comments were getting too much traction, were getting too many likes. And it looked like you were getting spam activity, bot activity. So the more I started to think about it, I remembered that on my feed, I had this, over the weekend, I had a Daily Mail article pick up my account or pick up a picture of a comment that I had left on that Hollywood Reporter account of the Blake Baldoni cover photo. The Blake Baldoni Hollywood Reporter article. And I wrote, she's going to think this is a smear campaign. Well, that comment got thousands of likes. And the Daily Mail picked that comment up along with a few other popular comments and put it in the Daily Mail and even like put a caption about it. But it didn't blur out, this is Donna Bowling, my Instagram caption. And I believe, or my Instagram username. And I believe that was on Saturday. And by Sunday night, my account was in Instagram comment jail. So somehow, somewhere, I believe that I was almost checked as like dangerous for Blake Lively's team. Do I think this is a wild theory or not? I don't know. But at first you're like, okay, LOL, Donna. Like they would think that that was that serious, that they would put a flag on your account. Until I put this out there, this theory, and I start getting DMs. 1 DM, 2 DMs, 10 DMs, 40 DMs. I'm not joking, up until this moment, from multiple creators and users just like you guys who are saying the same thing is happening to me. I do not have access to leave comments right now. I am in Instagram comment jail. Why? I also am commenting pro Justin Baldoni. I can't comment anything, anything anywhere. If I commented on any of your accounts, I got blocked. If I try to comment anything negative about Blake, I was immediately flagged as, problematic. All my content's being taken down. Da, 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 da. So this is clearly something that's happening across the board. I have commented on so much Real Housewives, so many Real Housewives content, so much Bravo content before. I've commented on so much Israel and, Jewish content. I've commented about, I don't even know, like anything in pop culture over the years. What is it about this that is putting so many people in Instagram jail and Meta jail? And I don't want to like sound the alarms because we don't have any actual proof of anything yet, but I find it really suspect. So my next question is, who is Mark Zuckerberg's talent agent? And that I need to know. I Googled it last night. I Googled it and I said, who is Mark Zuckerberg's talent agent? I couldn't find it. I don't know if he has one, but I have zero information on who is his agent. But Ari Emanuel, in my opinion, I don't know if I wouldn't say it's Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, but I believe Ari Emanuel is powerful enough and he has the powers that be under his wings that I believe he knows people. Do you think I'm insane? No, I do have a girlfriend who works for Meta. She doesn't work in that department at all. She works in like the branded content. But I'm hanging out with her this weekend at an Oscar party, and I'm going to give her a couple glasses of champagne, and I'm going to get to the bottom of it. It feels like too much of a coincidence that of all the years, and there's people out there that are really nasty on Instagram, and they're not in comment jail. I'm not out there like bullying people or saying mean things, like, calling people names. It's just a little strange, right? It's just a little strange. Stephanie says, ask Joe Rogan. He'll know who is telling. Okay. Hey, Jojo. Hey, Joey. So I don't know. I have no idea. Every time I comment and call him Farty Emmanuel, my comments get blocked. Well, it's one thing if you say bad words, if you say, things that are, Instagram automatically hides comments on our comment section. They will hide comments. That's a normal thing. And I understand that. They do that to protect you. I also get a lot of things that are hidden in my messages. Like if you use certain words, they automatically will hide them in my messages. I think it's words that seem to be dangerous, violent, anything that seems like a little bit negative or whatever. I can also put words in that seem negative or whatever. But this is strange. I will say there was also a creator that reached out to me last night, or I reached out to her first and she reached out to me again. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but we were DMing back and forth last night. She and I are going through the issues together. A lot of you guys sent it out to me. I guess one of you told me Giorgio from Giorgio Says can't go live until April or May on Instagram, is having issues. So there's definitely something going on. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like they're trying to filter something out, but it seems strange. It just seems random and it seems strange, and I don't know what. Because I'm still getting, corn. And by corn, I don't mean with the letter C, just add a P to the top of the corn on all my threads. So let's worry about that. How about let's worry more about that than this, right? Okay, so let's move on to something else. Oh, for that reason, right now, in terms of that case, and I don't even want to use the words on that because I want to clear it from my name because this is my business and I need to be able to create content. We all need to be able to create content, and also it's the monetary aspect of creating content and being able to have a voice. So let's just like put that aside for just a moment. I'm sure another conspiracy and another crazy scandal will come out. And if there's big stuff that's happening in that, Lively Baldoni case, it will. But I will tell you, I got a DM last night that said, a very, very nice DM last night that said, I will never forget. She said, I know the family for 20 years. I have specifically spoken to the family about you. They are watching you. They are so grateful for you. You and other content creators that are doing the exact same thing as you. You're really standing up for Justin. Thank you so much for everything you have done. They will never be able to forget you. Like a really, really kind comment. So we have definitely done what we have done. We are grateful. Like I'm sure they are grateful for what we have done. And now, as there's nothing really to talk about, we will talk about other things. So everything is good. Everything is good in the hood. Now let's move forward. And I have got some good stuff. So just you wait, because we've got to talk about this hairstylist, Jennifer Lopez's and Kylie Jenner's hairstylist that is in the, that just died. We've got at the Baldwins. Let's talk about all kinds of things. First of all, I want to cover a few of our sponsors. We all know February is the month of love. So I want to shout out VIIA Hemp. Do you want to keep the love alive all year round? I do, now that we're talking about Jon Hamm. Okay. Want to carry that Valentine's Day energy beyond the 14th? Elevate your passion naturally with VIIA. Introducing High Love, a mind-blowing gummy crafted to enhance pleasure naturally with a unique blend of pleasure-boosting cannabinoids, libido-strengthening herbs, and a moderate dose of THC. High Love awakens your senses, increases blood flow, and intensifies every experience. Trusted by over 500,000 happy customers, VIIA's award-winning THC and THC-free gummies, THCA flower, soothing topicals, and calming drops are made with premium hemp sourced from top American farms. And the best part, they legally ship to nearly all U.S. states, discreetly and directly to your door with a worry-free guarantee. I've tried the High Love gummies myself, and oh wow, they really do the trick. It's like an instant mood lifter that keeps me feeling connected and energized. It's all natural, and that blend of herbs and THC just works for me. And ask Lance. No, seriously, ask him. I'm waiting. Plus, the fact that they're made from premium hemp just means that I know I'm getting the best. Highly recommend. If you're 21 and over, head to the link in my description. Use code DailyDose for 15% off. So go to VIIA Hemp. That's VII Hemp, HEMP.com. Use code DailyDose, one word, for 15% off and get free shipping on orders over $100 and a free gift if you're new to VIIA. VIIA.co/DailyDose. Thank you so much, Josh, for putting the links in there. If you're thinking about Jon Hamm and you go to VIIA, you gotta that's a perfect match right there. Okay. Another shout out to our Dosers Live. We got so many amazing signups yesterday. Remember, signing up is just showing that you're interested in learning more about the event. This is in August here in Los Angeles. We're doing a live event. You guys, it's gonna be so much fun. Just you wait. We will have so much fun. So come on over. Come on over. Come on over. Come on over. dailydosepod.com/dosers live just to get signed up to learn more about the event. When we have more information, we just want to kind of gauge interest and see if you're interested in joining us in LA for a one-day fun party. Oh my gosh, I'm hearing about this. Monica says, I used to like Jon Hamm. The guy he beat got a fractured spine and almost lost a kidney. Do I need to do some research? What? When? How? Why? Who? Was there a reason? What year was this? When did Jon Hamm do such a thing? I don't want to know, but I do. ASMR. Jon Hamm style. Okay, so let's think about another hot man when you're taking your VIIA Hemp. Okay? All right, let's talk about, in college. This is in college? Okay. Well, let's do a deep dive on Jon Hamm another day when we can do the research. I want to talk about the Baldwins. I know that this is going to be a sensitive subject for a lot of people because a lot of people really do not like Alec Baldwin. Okay? And I'm going to tell you something. Neither do I. But what makes a good reality show? Reality 101. Are you guys ready? Reality 101 Coming from the anthropologist that I am, I'm not. What makes good reality TV? A mess, messy people, right? By messy, I mean not like physically messy, unless you're into that kind of like thing, right? I don't care about that. But just messy, like hot mess of a people, right? You don't want to watch perfect people on TV. You want to watch people that are imperfect. Okay, check. You want to watch people that are exposing flaws. Check, check. You want to watch things that are going through, people that are going through chaos or maybe drama in their life. Check, check, check. I have to say, I was never going to watch the Baldwins. I was never going to watch the story of Alec Baldwin and Hilaria. Okay, everyone say that with me. Hilaria. Hilaria. I was never going to watch it until last night. Eliza Rosen, shout out. She sent me a text message and she said, if I were you, I would turn it on. And I said, what? I'm not wasting my time with the Baldwins. And she said, if I were you, I would watch Hilaria. Oh, okay. I guess I can watch Hilaria and Baldwins because there's nothing else to watch between the hours of 9:30 and 10:30 on a Monday night. What else is there? Severance was already over in my house. I was laying in bed. I was just doom scrolling. So I turned the shit on. Okay. How honest can we get today? How honest do you guys really want me? How honest can I get? Okay, fine. I'll get honest. What's holding me back? I don't have a boss. Okay. So I turned it on. So Alec looks tired. There's a few things he needs. May I recommend a little bit of a eye bag lift? He looks fucking beat. He looks tired. But I would be too. This man runs a preschool. So does Hilaria. Okay. They have 472 kids. You thought 19 kids and counting was a lot? You thought John and Kate plus 8 was a lot? This feels like 400 times more kids. Why? Because they're all under the age of 5. Even though they're not, they are. I think there's a new kid popping out every 3 seconds. They're very cute. Cutest kids you've ever seen in your entire life. Actually, wow. They have really popped out cute kids. Not one of them is not cute. And not to say like some kid, let's be real. On TLC, they're the cutest kids of the bunch. For a TLC show, there's a cute group. Okay? It's a cute group. They are so cute from top to bottom. Let's pull up a picture so you guys have a little bit of a visual. The Baldwins kids. Images. Let me find one that you can like kind of really see. Okay. Here. This is from a Business Insider article. Okay. So if you can see here, we've got the oldest one is Carmen. That's all I know about. I think that's the only name I know. She is quite a treat. She's beautiful. Like every single one of their kids is going to be gorgeous. They're beautiful, beautiful children. The oldest one is going to be a stunner. I don't know how old she is, like 11 maybe. I don't know, 12 maybe. So she is beautiful. The boys are adorable and they all have funny, adorable personalities. They all got their hair cut in one scene. And the other 2 girls seem adorable. And this little baby has like quite a big personality. I'm never going to talk badly about these kids. Kids are kids. Okay. Right. We say the kids are off limits unless unless this is like a Honey Boo Boo show. We're not going to do that about these kids. The kids are adorable. However, the show is really about Alec Baldwin and Hilaria, right? And this is where I found it so interesting because Hilaria has a Dorit style accent. Dorit from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, as you guys know, she has 400 accents, and it depends on the day. I am Dorit, and sometimes I talk like this, and Sutton, you're a bitch, and sometimes I'm PK, and sometimes I'm like, Bose, you don't even know what I'm talking about, and that is Ilaria, because how do you say cucumber, and how do you? This is how it works, right? We don't know. It's up, it's down, it's minutes, and this is how it is, but I find it so fascinating because she, to me, is one of the most cuckoo bird people in the world. She's delusional to a level of like, where is she? How does she live this life? And does she really smile this much in normal life? Because Alec looks gobsmacked by his life. He's sitting amongst this chaos. They live in an apartment. It looks big. I mean, especially for New York standards. And apparently they moved into this apartment in 2011. Just the two of them. But they haven't moved. They have 400 kids and 8 animals and 2 nannies, but they've never left this apartment. So you can imagine it's big enough for all these people. And he's sitting there in the first scene with kids just like speed demons around. Now, I get anxious with my 2 boys. I have 2 boys. And they're older. They're 9 and 12. And I live in a small-ish house. Like, my house is not that big, but it's one big open room in my living room area. And I want to die. Like, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I hear so many iPads, and I hear your TVs, and you're on the iPads and the phones, and it's loud, and there's so much noise. This is enough to make someone crazy. And then add in camera crews in the room. There's 2 cameras. There's 2, and there's producers and a boom and this and that. And then there's a kid running around the room with a pillow throwing. There's a lot of pillows going. There's a lot of pushing and pillows. And then they're having a birthday party. And let's all decorate a cake. And on top of all that, let's all decorate a cake. But not to mention that Alec, he has OCD. Did you know that? Alec has OCD. And the whole time he's walking around fixing chairs. He's just walking around. This man is walking around like this. Just pushing in chairs. I mean, he doesn't even know which way is up. All of a sudden, he's standing there in the middle of chaos, and he starts cleaning the top of the trash bin. He pulls off the top of the trash bin, and he starts wiping down the trash bin. Okay, I guess I'll clean this. And the kids are like, Daddy's funny. Daddy's weird. And Hilaria is like, I love my life. Alec, he's so funny. He's so funny. I just let him do his thing, but he doesn't really know what's going on. You guys, it's reality TV gold. If you don't take it seriously, this is the key. You can't actually take it in. You can't actually look at these as like inspirational people. You have to look at this from a zoomed out perspective and not take it so seriously and say, oh my gosh, people live this way. And then you look in your own house and you look around your own life and you say, wow, I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky I didn't have 7 kids, right? I'm so lucky. Now, in the meantime, throughout all of this, they really, truly, they live a life of chaos beyond belief. He says to her at some point, he talks about the fact that when he was in 1983 or 87, like really early on in his career, he was here in Los Angeles and he roomed with his friend. He said he lived on a futon in his living room, and he remembered that his friend had a cat, and his friend's cat had tumbleweeds of hair, cat hair under the futon. And Alec got a crazy, what's it called? Asthma attack. And he had to run to the hospital and get shot with prednisone or whatever because he couldn't breathe. Cat allergy. And when he started dating Ilaria, he said, Ilaria, I can't. What does he call his wife? Does he say Ilaria? I don't think he does. Hilaria. What does he call his wife? Ilaria. He says, I need you to never, ever get a cat. So she gets 4. It's okay, Alec. It's okay. Later, they're getting ready to go to the Hamptons for the summer. This is like the thing that they do. They go to the Hamptons. They have a beautiful, huge house in the Hamptons, and I don't understand why they don't live there full time. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's huge. They have a big pool. They have places to run. They're going everywhere, whatever. And all of a sudden, they're talking about the fact that they're getting the cars ready. She's drawing guides of this car, who's going to be in this car, who's going to be in this car, and who's going to be in this car. And she goes to him and presents to him who's going to be in every car. And he says, I cannot be in the car with the cats. And she goes, no, 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 no. And he goes, at what point in this marriage did it become that you're going to tell me no? Because it didn't always used to be this way. Hilaria, it didn't used to always be this way. I used to be able to say what would happen. And then all of a sudden, at some point, you just started to say what would happen. Now you tell me no. And she goes, no, 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 no. I used to say that you had the say, but I used to just lie behind your back and I would have my way. But now I just tell you what's going to happen. So the guy says, I just can't be alone in the car with the cats. And then later, the producer in the interview goes, so do you know who Alec ended up driving to the Hamptons with? And Hilaria goes, no. Who? And the producer goes, the cats. And she goes, it's, you guys, we need this in our life. 2025 is not an easy year, okay? We have a lot ahead of us. We have a lot of tough times ahead of us. Life is hard. Watch the Baldwins. We deserve it. Trust me. Trust me when I tell you, these shows make you feel better about your life. Give yourself that. We also have the show of the Rust. We have the Rust trial going on at the same time. And he's about to prepare for the Rust trial. So I'm very interested to see how that goes. And I will forever I don't appreciate Alec as a person. I think Alec is a full-on huge D-bag. Okay. I've seen him be horrible to his oldest daughter, Ireland. I've seen him call her a disgusting word and name. And as someone with a disgusting, horrible father myself, as you guys know, or a lot of you guys know from Patreon, I am absolutely not a fan of Alec Baldwin as a human being. I think he has treated people very badly in real life. I think he is a funny guy from 30 Rock. I think he was funny. I think he's been funny on different shows before. I think he has a really, really, really bad temper, and I don't like him as a person in real life. I also think Ilaria has like some Delulu issues and she doesn't know who she is. Okay. I don't like them as people. I feel awful for Alec Baldwin about Rust. I feel absolutely awful. What he went through on that set, as much as I feel so badly for Helena and her family, and I do, because, you know, I'm married to a DP, a camera guy. Like, that feels so close to home. What happened to Helena, it's still so sad for Alec, what he had to go through. And I'm glad that he didn't get charged with that homicide. That's just my personal feeling. I'm glad that he didn't get charged. I don't believe that he should have taken the brunt of that murder. It was such a horrible experience. So I'm interested to see that behind the scenes. That's how I feel. So, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. It's really, really crazy. And then, yeah, Jewelry Girl says they shouldn't have cut corners on the set. Like, talking about unhealthy sets, that Rust set. And the fact that that movie supposedly is still going to come out is mind-blowing to me. Mind-blowing. Ashley says he's never taken responsibility for her death. He hasn't? See, I don't even know. I don't know about that at all. Sarah says, I'm not sad for Alec. Sarah's my, I always take my temperature with things with Sarah. I want to know why. I want to know why you're not sad for Alec at all. Let me know. I just think it was a horrible experience to be an actor in that moment, been given a loaded, weapon. Just awful. Just what an awful, awful experience. Okay, let's continue on. Sets are dangerous. We talked about that yesterday with Deadpool, right? Sets are dangerous. Go see the new Hollywood Reporter article. Are you telling me there's another article right now? Is something else dropping between right now on this? How Sony got trapped in the middle of the Lively versus Baldwin. I don't know if I feel like doing this again. I'm not going to do it today. I'll cover it later and tomorrow. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. Okay. Let's talk about Karen Huger and this crazy, crazy story over on Real Housewife of Potomac, and how this woman, Karen Huger, on this reality show on Bravo, it ends up coming out. If you guys do not know, if you aren't watching the show, Real Housewives of Potomac, I don't either. And I used to watch this show, but I will not be watching it anymore. And partially it's because Real Housewives of Potomac has this woman, Karen Huger, who has been on the show since the beginning, and she was our favorite. Her name is obviously Karen, but she goes by the Grand Dame, and she has been a household favorite. She's been a fan favorite, and she got a few months ago this DUI, and no videos were released. No information was really released. But then this last season of the show, she shows up on the show, and she is completely like MIA, not talking about it. She's like quiet about it. She says, information will come out later. I'm so glad I'm safe. She's not taking accountability for anything. She's not talking about anything. She's being very quiet about it. She's very like, she's acting as if she was totally innocent. You'll see, you'll see, you'll see. And then right before the holidays, the DUI videos drop. And this girl, my friend, is so incredibly over the top lit. She is so hammered, schmammered. She is wasted. And the DUI body cam videos that get dropped are 30, 45 minutes long of her acting insanely drunk, insanely rude, calling the cops all kinds of names, saying the wildest things like calling herself Thomas Jefferson's concubine. Her wig is falling off. She's like, don't you know who I am? She's faded beyond belief, so drunk. The fact that she actually thought in any capacity that she was going to be able to get away from, being, caught with this, or like looking okay in this way is very, very surprising. Then the reunion happens with Real Housewives of Potomac, and she doesn't even show up because she says that she is in rehab during this time. She goes to trial. She gets a guilty sentence, and they say that she goes to rehab, and she is absolutely, she's going to go to rehab, whatever. And she films a video, and I didn't even watch the reunion because that's how off I was after seeing this video of her not taking accountability. And during this video, during the reunion, apparently she didn't take accountability even during this reunion. Okay. Now it says, according to this new article, it says that Karen Huger, a prosecutor, has confirmed that this Karen Huger has had 4. This is her 4th. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 DUI offenses. Okay, 4 DUI offenses. This is insanity. You guys, what do they say is the definition of an insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Ahead of Karen's sentencing on Wednesday, February 26th, tomorrow, the prosecutor in her case filed a court document telling the judge that she should actually do some jail time because this happens to be her 4th alcohol-related traffic case. On February 22nd, the Washington Post shared an update on Karen's criminal case, citing the recent filing by prosecutor Jordan Kramer. In the court file, she accused Karen of having 3 previous alcohol-related traffic cases from the years 2006 to 11. So many years ago, which resulted in a guilty verdict for driving while impaired and another for driving under the influence. Like, this is not okay, you guys. We have to get this woman off the street. She should never, it shouldn't even be a probation or a suspension of a license. She should never be allowed to get her license back. These are the cases where you should just never get Uber for life. Enough. Despite the guilty findings, she has served 0 jail time. The fact that Ms. Huger has repeatedly been given the benefit of another chance on 3 separate occasions demonstrates that she has not learned anything from her private arrests. In fact, it appears as if she has been emboldened. It says, while Karen is facing up to 2 years in prison, the prosecutor is requesting that she be handed a 6-month jail sentence by the judge. Her defense team would prefer she served 0 jail time. Why? Why? Asking the judge to focus rather on rehab. Karen's attorney claims that since her rehab stint, she has been participating in meetings every morning with an AA coffee group. Okay, that's possible, but someone also said Karen Huger wasn't even in a rehab. The rumors was that she was here. Hold on. There's a couple other things that she wasn't even in a rehab, and also she was taking so many antidepressants during this that she was going through withdrawals of her antidepressants. So there was another issue that she was mixing pills during her drinking as well. And she's insisting that she's not an alcoholic in addition to this. During this video that she taped, she says, I am not an alcoholic. So she's absolutely not taking accountability. And what was this about the spa? I saw something, and I'm not sure if this is completely confirmed or not, but it's saying, it's saying according to this article, and like, who knows how confident we can be about this, but this says according to In Touch Weekly, so who knows if it's true. It says that Miss Huger is extremely lucky that neither she nor anyone else was seriously injured or even killed during this incident, etc. It says Miss Huger does not appear to have taken any steps whatsoever to take accountability for her actions on March 19, 2024. In the 9 months leading up to trial, she did not enroll herself into any type of alcohol treatment program or support group. Instead, the defendant spent 6 days at Miraval in Arizona in August of 2024, which her former defense attorneys depicted to the state as a holistic wellness program. She went to Miraval. That's where Oprah went with Gayle King during her show. Then they said she enrolled in a private recovery program at the Beachside Recovery Center in West Palm Beach, Florida in January 25, only after being convicted for the 3rd time of driving while impaired under the influence. Beachside Recovery is described on its website as a luxury alcohol treatment center. Okay, so that is a real thing, I guess. I don't know. So she went to Miraval in August of 2024, which is like literally, I would pay to go to Miraval. That is not a rehab whatsoever. Miraval is actually gorgeous. A lot of my friends go there as like a getaway. So that is not a rehab. It's actually like a resort. And then Beachside, Tanya says in the comments, that's another spa. My sister-in-law was there. That's crazy. The prosecutors are saying that she should get 6 months of executed incarceration. And in addition, they want her to install an interlock device on any car, complete a Mothers Against Drunk Driving victim impact panel. I mean, that's crazy, you guys. Wanda says, Miraval, isn't that the place Rocky Bang Bang Raquel Rachel was supposed to be when Scandival happened? Yes, that is actually. I wonder if she's hanging out with her at some point. So who knows? Who knows? But that is like, this is why, honestly, I had to stop watching Real Houses of Potomac for a few different reasons. And partially it was because of this. I couldn't reconcile watching Real Houses of Potomac when this news came out. The episode right after this was the episode where they were just like having a fun girls' day or like a fun episode with all the families and stuff. and they were drinking and hanging out, and Gordon was there. That's Karen's husband. And no, not Gordon. What's his name? Karen's husband. Now I can't remember. Sweet guy. But he was also there at their arrest, and he was helping her, looking for her wallet and looking for her ID. And Ray, thank you. And I just couldn't reconcile. But then not only that, there were some storylines that were just so awful. Like Mia was another storyline on that show who was dealing with a paternity storyline. You guys, I just spent 20 minutes talking about the Baldwins, but that I just couldn't do. I couldn't reconcile with it. Now, in terms of Bravo content, I am enjoying Summer House. I am enjoying Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I'm enjoying Southern Charm. I will continue to talk about them. There are not that many good shows right now, or I should say, there's not that much good content to talk about. This is why it was great timing to talk about the content of Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds and all of that. But I can't live there. I can't live there. So we will find a good balance. And I talk about that specifically because I see your guys' feedback. I get it. I want to make you happy. But I also, this is a gossip show. We have to talk about what is hot, what is happening in the world, what is happening and what's going on. I also want you guys to take a moment and try to watch the show about Balin, the Tourette's girl on TLC. Are you watching that? I watched one episode and I find her endearing, but I worry because I did see a thread and it makes me worry that she's putting it on. Someone said out there that they have known her for years and they do believe that this is put on. And it makes me concerned. Is this real or not? So do we need to deep dive Balin? Because if Balin is lying, then I ain't happy. So we got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. Okay, so I am looking into all kinds of things and we will get into all of it. If you've been sticking around from the beginning here on Daily Dose of Donna, I will always be grateful for you. If you are here just for Blake and Ryan, I appreciate you. If you are not and you have joined and you want to stick around for all time, the more the merrier. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the community. You are welcome here at all times. Come, go, stick around, stay. We're here. We're like IHOP. We're always open. Is IHOP always open? Give me a 24-hour spot. We're like CVS. Okay? We're always open. Things may be locked behind, closed doors, but we're here. You just may have to press a button and try to get someone's attention. But don't you worry. I'm here. Okay? Love you guys. Thank you so much for subscribing, being here, giving the 5-star reviews and the ratings. I love you. I appreciate you. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow on Daily Dose of Donna.